One summer day, the park was sweltering under a clear sky. Despite the heat, Joshua remained undeterred, hoping to catch a glimpse of his favorite animal, the leopard. Leopards were known to hunt late in the afternoon or at night, often hiding in caves or resting in trees during the day. Seeing them was rare, but the park's visitors still hoped for a sighting. Working at the park had its advantages, as rangers like Joshua had a higher chance of encountering these elusive creatures. As Joshua set out for the day, he felt a surge of excitement, a feeling that today might be special. The rangers typically patrolled the park's areas in a Land Rover, but rocky terrain sometimes required them to patrol on foot. Joshua was prepared for this as he embarked on his patrol, unaware of the extraordinary events that were about to unfold. Joshua was an avid hiker in his free time, so patrolling on foot was something he enjoyed. It allowed him to explore areas with breathtaking views that were otherwise inaccessible. Little did he know, this decision would lead him to a critical moment where he would save lives. As he set out on foot, Joshua was lightly equipped, carrying only a taser gun for self-defense in the protected area. Within 2 hours, he reached a rocky hill where he paused to admire the scenery. It was then that he heard something unsettling, gruff voices beyond the tree line. His instincts kicked in, recognizing the voices as something more ominous than lost tourists, poachers. Joshua had encountered poachers during his internship years ago, and he remembered the importance of staying calm and calling for backup. Joshua cautiously approached the bush line to confirm his suspicions about the men being poachers. Peering through the dense foliage, he witnessed a disturbing sight. 4 men were moving together, each carrying rifles and other items. One had a large, fluffy animal draped over his shoulder, while another carried a sack, which seemed to be moving. Realization dawned on Joshua within moments. It was a leopard draped over one poacher's shoulder, indicating that the sack likely contained its cubs. Acting swiftly, Joshua radioed for assistance, but in his haste, he stumbled and fell through the bushes, alerting the poachers to his presence. As the poachers approached to investigate, Joshua reacted instinctively. He subdued one with a taser and kicked the other, causing him to drop the sack containing the leopard cubs. The situation escalated as the other 2 poachers prepared to join the fray, but the sound of the base camp radioing through on Joshua's radio startled them into retreat. In the aftermath, Joshua regained consciousness to find himself face to face with the disoriented mother leopard. The gravity of the situation sank in as he realized the lives he had just saved. As the tranquilizer wore off, the mother leopard regained consciousness, but she couldn't free her cubs from the bag. With a soft growl of desperation, she nudged the bag toward Joshua, seeking his help. Understanding the leopard's plea, Joshua carefully approached and opened the bag, revealing 3 frightened faces. Seeing the vulnerability of the cubs melted Joshua's heart, and he knew he had to assist them. Both the mother and her cubs required medical attention, and it seemed the mother leopard sensed this, staying close to the ranger for assistance. Together with management, Joshua decided that the best course of action was to provide temporary care until the family could return to the wild. Taking on the role of their foster dad, Joshua became inseparable from the cubs within just a week. They joined him on patrols, shared meals, and even accompanied him during his downtime. However, as the days passed, the mother leopard began showing signs of restlessness, signaling that it was time for them to return to their natural habitat. While Joshua cherished the time spent with the leopard family, he knew their true home awaited them in the wild. They needed to return to their natural habitat to thrive, which meant Joshua had to say goodbye to his newfound friends. At first, the cubs didn't seem to understand and would return to Joshua's camp every few days. However, over time, they seemed to grasp the situation, and Joshua believed he would never see them again. But fate had other plans. While on patrol, Joshua sensed he was being followed. Turning around, he discovered the 3 not-so-little cubs trailing behind him. Overjoyed, Joshua welcomed their presence. This became a regular occurrence, with the cubs coming and going as they pleased, sometimes joining him on patrols and other times just popping in to say hello. One hot day, while patrolling a rocky hill, Joshua encountered a man sitting on a rock. Assuming he was a tourist, Joshua approached him, only to realize he had made a grave mistake. The man on the rock was one of the poachers who had fled. Before Joshua could react, he was struck and everything went black. His head throbbed with pain, an intensity he had never felt before. As he slowly regained consciousness, Joshua was met with a surreal sight. His colleagues were restraining a man while 3 leopards stood guard nearby. It was a scene that left him speechless. Struggling to comprehend what had unfolded, Joshua sat up and was briefed by a colleague on what had transpired. He had been attacked and knocked unconscious by the poacher, but to the poacher's surprise, the vigilant leopards had swiftly intervened, apprehending him before any further harm could be done. Unaware of Joshua's condition, his colleagues had radioed for his response and, receiving none, had set out to find him. Upon stumbling upon the scene, they discovered the poacher at the mercy of the leopards, with Joshua unconscious nearby. Overwhelmed with gratitude and disbelief, Joshua couldn't help but burst into tears as he embraced the leopards, thanking them for saving his life. It was a poignant reminder that his courageous actions had earned him the profound loyalty and protection of these majestic creatures.